Subscribe because it's free.
The galaxy sprawls like a battlefield, scarred and jagged, a place where stars burn out under the weight of war. For eons, the Kraxo Dominion has ruled it all, a coalition of alien species forged in blood and steel. Their ships blot out suns. Their weapons crack planets like eggshells. They've crushed 1,000 worlds, each one begging for mercy before the end. The Kraxo don't negotiate. They dominate. Their tech is light years beyond anything else, a fusion of cold logic and raw power. Clad in biomechanical armor, their soldiers tower over lesser beings, claws dripping with the ichor of the defeated. To them, the galaxy is a game, and they've never lost. Every species kneels or dies, until now. Their latest target is a speck on the edge of the spiral arm, a blue-green rock orbiting a middling star. They call it Earth. Earth doesn't look like much. No grand fleets patrol its skies. No energy shields them around its cities. Its people bicker over scraps, their history a mess of wars and petty grudges. The Kraxo scanners peg it as a backwater, a planet of primitives still fumbling with combustion engines and fragile satellites. Resources are thin, oil's half gone, forests are patchy, and the air's thick with the stink of industry. Humans fight each other as much as they fight the elements, their borders shifting like sand in a storm. To the galaxy, they're a joke, a species too busy squabbling to matter. The Kraxo warlords laugh through their calms, betting on how fast this one will fall. They've seen it before. Weak worlds crumble in hours. Earth won't even be a footnote. The invasion begins with a shadow. Kraxo warships drop from hyperspace, a fleet so vast it turns day to night over half the planet. Their hulls gleam like obsidian, bristling with cannons that could melt continents. A signal blasts across every frequency, hijacking every screen, every radio, every speaker on Earth. It's Zefkar, the Dominion's Butcher Lord, his voice a guttural snarl that shakes the air. "People of Earth," he growls, "your time is up. Surrender your world, or we'll take it from your ashes. Your history is weakness. Centuries of killing each other, and for what? You're nothing. Bow now or be erased." The message loops, translated into every human language, a taunt echoing from pole to pole. He pauses, letting the galaxy hear his contempt. "Resist if you dare. It'll make your end amusing." The feed cuts to static, but the threat lingers, heavy as the ships overhead. Zefkar's words hit hard. Cities freeze. People stare at screens, at the sky, at each other. The galaxy tunes in, expecting the usual. Panic, please, surrender. They've watched this play out on 100 worlds. The Kraxo don't bluff. Their graveyard conquest proves it. Betting pools spring up on alien networks. 6 hours, some say, before Earth's leaders wave the white flag. Others give it 3. The galaxy leans closer, ready for the show. But Earth doesn't flinch. No presidents or kings answer first. Instead, a rogue signal cuts through the static, piggybacking on the Kraxo's own broadcast. It's a human voice, rough, unpolished, like gravel under boots. "You think you're tough?" it says, loud enough to rattle the stars. "Let's see you fight us now." No polish, no diplomacy, just a challenge thrown like a punch. The galaxy blinks. Laughter ripples through alien comms, Zefkar's included. A lone human, some nobody, daring the Dominion? It's absurd. A flea barking at a titan. The Kraxo warlord smirks, his mandibles clicking in amusement. He orders the first wave prepped, eager to crush this insolence. Earth's signal fades, but the words hang there, a spark in the void. On the ground, humans hear it too, not from their leaders, but from one of their own. It's not a plan, not a strategy, just pure, stupid defiance. And it spreads. In bunkers, bars, and broken streets, people mutter it back. "Let's see you fight us now." The Kraxo don't know it yet, but that spark's about to catch. Earth's not kneeling. Not today. The Kraxo don't wait. Their warships open fire. Plasma bolts tearing through the atmosphere like meteors. Cities vanish in seconds. Skyscrapers melt. Highways buckle. Oceans boil where the beams hit. The first wave of ground troops follows, dropping from orbit in pods that smash into the Earth. They're monstrosities, 10 feet tall, metal fused with flesh, claws sparking with energy. Their weapons hum, disintegrating tanks and bunkers with a flick. Human military scramble, but bullets ping off armor, and missiles barely dent their lines. The Kraxol march forward, relentless, carving a path of ash and ruin. Zefkar watches from his flagship smug as the galaxy's feeds show Earth's defenses folding. He expects Scream's capitulation. He's wrong. Humans don't roll over. The ones who survive the first hour duck into shadows. Sewers, forests, crumbling suburbs. No grand army rallies. It's chaos, but it's organized chaos. A mechanic in Ohio rips apart a downed Kraxol drone, wiring its power core to a pickup truck's battery. A farmer in Ukraine rigs a tractor with steel plates and a flamethrower from propane tanks. A hacker in Seoul cracks alien comms with a laptop and a prayer, feeding intel to anyone still fighting. They're not soldiers, not by training, but they know their ground. Swamps that swallow heavy feet, mountains that hide snipers, cities that twist into mazes. The Kraxol, built for open war, stumble into a mess they can't predict. The counterstrikes start small, but hit hard. A squad of teens in Brazil lures a patrol into a favela, dropping Molotovs from rooftops. Crude fire sticks to alien armor, cooking circuits inside. In Siberia, a trap snaps shut. Buried gas cans explode under a Kraxol walker, toppling it into a ravine. A team in New York hacks a drone swarm, turning it back on its masters. The sky lights up with friendly fire. Each wind's messy, desperate, but it bleeds the invaders. A message spreads, scrawled on walls, whispered on radios. They bleed. We can win. It's not hope yet, just fact. The Kraxol aren't invincible. Their tech fails, their bodies break. Humans keep moving, keep hitting. Zefkar sees the reports. Patrols missing, machines wrecked, losses ticking up. His amusement sours to fury. These ants dare sting? He slams a claw on his console, barking orders. Elite shock troops deploy. Faster, deadlier, armed with weapons that turn air to acid. The galaxy's watchers lean in, still betting on Earth's collapse. But the odds shift. Whispers ripple through alien bars and ships. The humans aren't dying fast enough. They're adapting, fighting with junk and guts. Zefkar doubles a bombardment, leveling whole regions to dust. He wants this over, wants a galaxy to see Earth break. But the signal from that first defiance still echoes, and humans don't stop. The fight's uneven, brutal. Kraxol walkers stomp through villages, their cannons shredding anything that moves. Humans dodge, strike, vanish. A fisherman in Thailand sinks a troop carrier with dynamite from his boat. A nurse in Nigeria blinds a warrior with a homemade acid bomb, then finishes it with a crowbar. Every kill costs lives. 10, 20 humans for one alien. But the math doesn't scare them. They're not counting bodies. They're counting chances. The mechanic's truck rams a supply line. The farmer's flamethrower torches a squad. The hacker's intel ambushes a convoy. Earth's a patchwork of resistance, stitched with blood and wire. The galaxy starts to notice. Feeds show Kraxol stumbling, tripped by traps, burned by fire, outmaneuvered by apes with no business still standing. Alien analysts scoff, but some pause. Earth's not winning, not yet, but it's not losing either. Zefkar's rage grows. He floods the ground with more troops, determined to grind this planet to nothing. Humans meet them head-on, not with fleets or lasers, but with whatever's at hand. A kid with a slingshot and a nail bomb. A welder with a plasma cutter torn from a dead drone. They fight like cornered animals, and the Kraxol bleed more than they expect. It's not a war of equals. The Kraxol have numbers, tech, power. Humans have dirt, spite, and a knack for breaking things. Every trap sprung, every drone hijacked, every warrior felled chips at the Dominion's myth. Zefkar's snarl echoes through his fleet. End them! But ending them isn't easy. The galaxy watches, bets adjusting, as Earth's patchwork defiance holds. The invaders push harder, and humans push back, ugly, raw, unstoppable. The Kraxol escalate. Zefkar, done with games, unveils their trump card, a gravity bomb, a machine the size of a city block, humming with dark energy. It drops into orbit, its core pulsing as it charges. One detonation will rip Earth's crust apart, turn mountains to rubble, and drown continents in magma. The first test pulse hits. A shockwave flattens forests, cracks dams, sends tsunamis roaring inland. Casualties spike. Millions die in minutes. The galaxy's feed zoom in, expecting the end. Humans stagger. Radios go silent. Survivors huddle in wreckage. The Kraxo broadcasts a final demand. Kneel or your world dies. Zefkar's voice drips with triumph. Certain he's won. But humans don't kneel. A signal cuts through the chaos, not from a bunker or a capital, but everywhere. It's a patchwork of voices. Scientists in labs, soldiers in trenches, kids with cracked phones, linked by a jury-rigged network. We're not done, they say, and the planet listens. In hours, they unite. A physicist in Japan decodes a bomb's energy signature from salvaged Kraxo wreckage. A pilot in Canada volunteers her crop duster for a suicide run. A factory worker in India churns out EMPs from microwave parts. No orders, no hierarchy, just people moving as one. They crack alien tech faster than the galaxy thought possible, turning scraps into weapons. A fleet assembles, shuttles, freighters, even a rusted space station armed with lasers ripped from downed ships. The counterattack launches. The human fleet, barely space-worthy, charges the Kraxo armada. Kamikaze drones, built from car batteries and stolen circuits, swarm the bomb's escorts. Pilots ram their ships into weak points, trading lives for dents. The EMPs fire, frying Kraxo's shields. A freighter packed with explosives breaches the flagship's hull. Ground teams sync up, hitting power relays with everything. Rockets hack drones, even a railgun cobbled from train tracks. The gravity bomb's core flickers, its countdown stalling. A final push. A shuttle pilot, voice calm, flies straight into the machine's heart. The explosion lights up the sky, a fireball swallowing the bomb and half the Kraxo vanguard. Zefkar's flagship reels, its bridge a smoking ruin. The galaxy gasps. Feeds catch every second. Human ships disintegrating, but taking Kraxo with them. The bomb's gone, Earth still spinning. Betting pools flip. Alien crowds cheer, some in shock, some in awe. Zefkar slams his console, his fleet battered, his plan in tatters. He roars into the comms. You vermin dare defy me? His voice cracks, rage masking panic. The humans don't answer with words. A new signal flares, crude, defiant. Come get us. The galaxy hears it, sees the wreckage, and starts to wonder. Earth's not just surviving, it's fighting back. The cost is brutal. Cities lie in ashes, populations gutted. The Kraxo still outnumber, outgun, outmatch humanity 10-1. But the tide shifts. Survivors crawl from rubble, hands bleeding as they rebuild. A welder in Mexico fuses alien metal into armor. A coder in South Africa hijacks Kraxo satellites, blinding their scanners. A fisherman in Iceland turns his boat into a missile launcher. They're not waiting to die. They're daring the enemy to try again. The unity spreads, a fire no bombardment can snuff out. Every human left standing is a soldier now, not by rank, but by will. Zefkar's fury peaks. He orders his fleet to regroup, his elites to prep for a ground assault. He'll crush them himself, he swears, rip their defiance from their throats. The galaxy watches split. Some root for the Kraxo to finish it, others for the humans to keep swinging. The feeds show Earth's scars, but also its teeth. Makeshift turrets rising, stolen tech humming, people chanting that same damn phrase. Let's see you fight us now. It's not a plea, it's a taunt, a promise. The momentum turns, subtle but real. Alien defectors, small ships, rogue crews break from the Dominion, inspired or just pragmatic, joining the human line. The Kraxo falter, their perfect war machine jamming on Earth's stubbornness. Humans don't have the best weapons, the most ships, the strongest bodies. They have something else, a refusal to quit, a spark that binds them. The galaxy sees it now, a species that shouldn't stand a chance, rewriting the rules with blood and scrap. Zefkar's patience snaps. He lands on Earth himself, his elite guard crashing into a shattered city. Once a hub of life, now a graveyard of steel and dust. His armor gleams, a towering nightmare of spikes and circuits, his claws crackling with energy. The Kraxo warlord wants blood, wants to silence the humans' taunts with his own hands. His troops fan out, cutting down stragglers, their weapons turning stone to vapor. He broadcasts his arrival. "I'll break you myself." The galaxy tunes in, expecting a massacre. Humans don't run. From the ruins, they emerge, ragged, armed with rifles, spears, and stolen alien tech. No surrender, just a wall of bodies ready to die standing. The clash ignites. Zefkar charges, tearing through humans like paper. Limbs fly, screams cut short, but they keep coming. A welder swings a plasma torch, scorching his leg. A kid lobs a grenade, denting his chest plate. Numbers thin, but the fight tightens. Then one steps up, not a general, not a hero, just a grizzled nobody with a busted rifle and a shiv. He dodges a claw swipe, rolls under a blast, and locks eyes with the warlord. Zefkar laughs, lunging. The human faints, stumbles, then drives a shiv into a gap in the armor, twisting hard. Green blood sprays. Zefkar roars, slashing wildly. The human takes a hit, ribs cracking, but holds on, jamming a live wire from a dead drone into the wound. Sparks fly, and Zefkar convulses, collapsing in a heap. The human stands, bleeding and spits. Tough enough? The feed goes live. Every alien sees it. The Kraxo freeze. Their warlord's down, his guard reeling. Humans swarm, no mercy. Crowbars smash skulls. Stolen blasters burn through armor. The elites break, fleeing to their ships, but the sky's no refuge. The ragtag human fleet, bolstered by defectors, hits hard. Shuttles ram carriers. EMPs cripple engines, and a freighter unloads a salvaged Kraxo cannon, splitting a cruiser in two. The Dominion's armada fractures, ships peeling off in chaos. Ground and space sync up, humans howl into comms. Anyone else want to turn? The Kraxo retreat, tails tucked, leaving Earth scarred but unbowed. The galaxy reels. Feeds replay Zefkar's fall. The fleet's route, impossible yet real. Betting pools crash. Alien crowds roar. Some in fear, some in reverence. Earth's voice cuts through. No pleas, no deals, just a challenge echoing across stars. Survivors dig out, rebuild. Tents rise in rubble. Forges spark with alien metal. Defectors land, swearing allegiance, their ships painted with human marks. The planet's a wreck, billions dead, land scorched, but it stands. Humans don't gloat. They work, they watch, ready for the next fight. The galaxy learns fast. Earth's not prey, it's a predator. The story spreads. On distant worlds, slaves whisper it, how the weaklings topple the Titan. Kraxo rivals sharpen their blades, eyeing the Dominion's wounds. Earth becomes a signal, a flare in the dark. Defy or die. Humans don't care about fame. They bury their dead, fix their guns, and scan the skies. The galaxy rethinks them, not primitives, but survivors forged in fire. Zefkar's corpse rots in the dirt, a trophy no one claims. The message lingers, raw and clear. Mess with Earth and you'll bleed.